together.
Ichiko, whose blood is that? Whose blood? Where did you get that?
She
And
can get blood. You don't know everything about her
she's
life.
like, oh, don't worry about it. It's not mine.
Help me, Mom.
So this is a new stage. We get to go to school as a little schoolgirl because every Japanese media needs that.
Yeah. Where's our hover device?
And in this stage, there is a recluse Shibito driving a car, running over everybody.
Damn, bro.
But that nets us an iron relatively easily. We don't need to fight that we don't need to find that Shibito. We just get it. Now, for this part of the stage, the car is just going to be riding in circles over there. But once we move over here, basically it moves right behind us. Thankfully, the car actually isn't that big of a deal because, it's a car. It can't really chase you down into the bushes or like in specific angles. It's got a rather specific path, and as you can see, it can be very helpful in netting us an even better weapon. Although, yeah, we have to find it on the ground. There we go. Yeah, much better than iron.
Okay, but what if you could turn the iron on? Would it be better then?
I mean, to be fair, there are lights on, so there's technically electricity. So that could work. But yeah, for the objective of this stage is to hide inside of a storage area. But the problem is it is guarded by a sniper zombie. We cannot take care of those, sadly, but we can distract them. See, he constantly keeps looking in the direction of this incinerator. And this is another archive item. Girl, I was just about to do the objective. So yeah, as you can see, this is the lady that we didn't actually do anything to her. It was the car that ran over her. She's already back. That is really quick. This is coincidentally also a requirement for Yorito's mission, for whatever reason. I don't actually remember what the what the what the connection is here. I honestly don't. So yeah, right now we can. Now that the zombie is getting distracted, it's going that direction. He's going to be looking at it until the end of days, for as far as we know. We can just go in here, no problemo. This is one of those rare situations where a way to save, a way to basically solve a problem for a stage is also a requirement for another person's secondary mission. History book, a tennis racket. which we honestly don't need, but I'm gonna pick it up anyway. More thematic for her.
On the off chance you need to play a really mean game of tennis, you know.
Exactly. Yeah, so let's just climb through this glass. Nothing bad's gonna happen to us. But yeah, because we did a lot of the well, pretty much every objective, like secondary objective up until this point. The secondary mission for this stage is already unlocked the moment that you clear it, basically. Or there, no, it's gonna be cleared the moment that we finish this stage.
So far away. That side.
I love how the music just gets interrupted. He's just having a moment and he's just like, huh? Now, the first objective of this stage is to just ensure Ichiko's safety from the Yamibito. This is probably like one of the easiest ones to clear. You'd think, oh no, we have to like take care of her and stuff, but no dice.
Is this Resident Evil 3?
The Yamibitos have a pretty cool introduction. The way that they differ from Shibito is that they are actually afraid of light. Whereas the Shiryos and Shibito, well, Shiryo was afraid of light, but the Shibito wasn't. With Yamire, they are afraid of light and they never grow out of it. The main difference is that the Yamibito are a lot faster, and unlike the Shibito, they also don't seem to be locked into like a specific location or a specific pattern. You see them do well more inventive exploring around the stage. Which doesn't mean that they won't also stand guard on specific spots, but you can expect a little bit more variety in terms of their movements. But that does get balanced out by the fact that if you run up to one with your flashlight on, or you turn on your flashlight in their face, they will be stunned for a couple of seconds. Now this stage is like literally laced with them everywhere. It is quite annoying. The secondary variant of the stage is a little bit easier actually, because you have access to a certain item, which is the light bulbs, and you can basically make certain areas safe from the Yamire and Yamibito entirely. But yeah, the best way to deal with this location is to just like not bother with them at all. There is a certain archive item that you can get in there, which is the one that I mentioned before. That was one of the most obtuse things in this entire game. But in this stage variant, it is just so difficult to get it, even when you know what you're supposed to do, that it's just not worth trying. Well, this mission does have two variants. In essence, while while the mission itself is slightly different, the way that you solve it is near identical. So if you do this mission, the second one is basically exactly the same, or even easier in some ways. And thankfully, Takeaki can take some punishment. Our objective of this mission is to just reach the tunnel, and the best way to do it is to just run straight ahead to that corner of the map and just jump down, and that's it. And now we're home free. There is literally no other monsters on the stage. Sadly, this sort of becomes a bit of a theme for a lot of the later secondary missions in this game. Yeah, it's like they're technically different, but effectively you solve them more or less the exact same way. Not all of them, mind you.
Makes sense in the grand scheme of things, Nico.
Like, not all of them, mind you, but it is a lot more common in the second half of the game that the second mission is basically similar, but there is just like one difference. Whereas in the early stages of the game, most secondary missions were basically an entirely different stage. Not all of them, again. There are some which are very, very different and interesting the second time around. But just wanted to mention that. So this one is actually different, although to a degree. Well, basically, this is the entire first mission and then some.
Can't remember anything.
And this is why we're going to school, because school is the place of learning.
Shit, dude, if it is, I sure as hell don't remember a ton of it.
Yeah, it is basically made to just test, to just grade you. It's not actually meant to teach you anything.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm glad that ChatGPT is basically destroying the entire school system as we know it.
ChatGPT is what made the Shabito.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, sure. That is exactly what I was getting at.
Yep, I knew it.
No, but basically what I mean is this will force to make schools more practical rather than just to focus on information and knowledge that you're going to completely forget and never use in your actual life.
Right.
Which, I mean, let's be honest, since we all have... Wow, that was close. How did you not get hit? Iron is pretty badass. Although it only did more damage because she didn't see me.
Backstab.
Mm-hmm. Iron backstab. I don't know if that is... I don't know if that is silly or absolutely badass.
I mean, either way, it would fucking hurt.
A cutting knife. You mean, as opposed to, like, I don't know, a hatchet?
As opposed to just a slab of metal.
Thankfully, this isn't terribly common, but there are some examples of, like, why can't I just use, like, I don't know, a hatchet that I can also use as a weapon to cut through a thing? It would work basically the same way in the end. But I digress. Similarly to the previous version of this mission, it is very beneficial for us to distract the sniper zombie away from his post. And also get out
Reach
of here.
right in there and grab it.
Yeah, we already examined this on the previous version.
Oh, bad timing.
Yeah, also there's something that I have read, but I'm not exactly sure if this is true. If your character is crouching or crouch walking and they get attacked, they receive more damage than they would normally. But I never really like thoroughly tested it. You know, you also generally just don't want to get hit or killed, and this game does not have any kind of health bar to speak of. So
Wait,
yeah,
puncture the car's tire, like, while it's moving?
exactly.
Oh, jeez.
Thankfully, you don't actually need to time it. But they do make it overly dramatic. Like, if you like, you'll see. I don't believe that. I don't believe that puncturing tires on a car driving around a school would cause what is going to happen. That woman, seriously. Especially when you throw them like that. So now we just have to just sit back and wait for the car to appear, or go up to the car and take his attention.
Okay, but what if you walk right on top of where you threw it?
Nothing.
Huh.
Yeah, so you heard the tires popping, actually. Such a drama queen. This lunch lady, I swear.
It's because you're on the menu.
But you were gonna say because you're trash, but...
Damn. Why does she look like Betty White?
Wait, is that... I think that's the same lady as in the cutscene with where Tomoe got turned into a Shibito. She has the exact same hair.
Maybe.
But yeah, as you can
Oh,
hear,
wow.
there's somebody going ham with a machine gun. We don't want to be in the line of fire. Luckily, they hate each other just as much as they hate me, so I can just like do and bye-bye.
Do the smart thing and let them kill each other.
Exactly, I don't have the firepower, not in this stage.
Shauna's Virage powers woke up and helped her.
Yes.
Only like maybe one viewer is gonna get that joke, but you know.
It's the thought that counts. But yeah, since Takeyaki's second mission variant of the second stage unlocked, we're gonna do that first. This will also be his last stage. It was similarly for Ichiko. We're not gonna be getting any more missions for her.
Is this gonna be like his last mission too, where it's like 7 million times longer than the mission 1?
No, like I said before, this one's actually very similar to the original mission. There is one variant that's different, but it makes very little difference. Eh? Yeah, whereas before we only had to make sure that Ichiko doesn't get killed before she reaches the end of the stage. This time we actually have to escape together with her. The funny thing was, in the previous version of the stage, if you happen to run in her way, she will attack you.
Huh.
Yeah, she sees you as a potential threat.
Time to go Rambo.
But yeah, as you can see, the Yamibito, similarly to the Yamire, if you shine light on them, they will start steaming.
Like steam from steamed clams.
Yes. I was gonna say
God, what the fuck?
I was gonna say they were gonna start smoking, but that has a different connotation. They just take a 5, go break out their camels, or what they call them in this game, okapis.
Yes.
So this is one of the more obscure second mission variants. That you have to deal with. You have to make Ichiko hide.
You have to make her what?
Hide. Just like
Oh.
hide in here, and that unlocks an item.
A key?
There's like a theme with her. I think she, out of all characters, gets that kind of objective the most. You just like hide and do a thing somehow. Never been a fan of these because they also appeared in the previous Forbidden Siren, and they were just as obtuse. It's like, why would you think to do that in that specific spot? There is no indication. There's also very little reason for you to ever use the hide command. And as you heard, she already equipped herself with a knife. The girl is hardcore. But yes, the path that we're going to take in this version of the stage is basically the same as what I did before. On the previous version of this mission, they want you to take a different path, but I always found this one to be way easier. Because the first mission the sort of quote-unquote intended path, has a very bad case of a psychic enemy, if you catch my drift.
Yeah.
So now, this section is gonna be a little bit different. What we want to do is not actually pick up the weapon. What we want to do is install all the light bulbs that we can. We have several of them, but it's more than enough for this specific location. And while we're at it, we also will want to get rid of all the Yamire because of the archive item that is present in this location. But first, hog wall, install light bulbs. That's the most important thing, because that in on its own is already going to help us greatly to reduce their numbers and also ensure our safety, because they're they're far less likely to actually want to attack you if you are well, if you're standing in the light. And now here's the archive item. Did you catch that?
No.
Exactly. So your whatever hint there was for this for this objective, it's sort of like you can only, damn girl, you can only find that monster in complete darkness when it's covered, when there is a mist going on and you have a smoke thingy. But yeah, you just have to know to be in that specific spot, kill your flashlight, and kill your flashlight and then throw a smoke grenade.
Right, as you logically would.
As you logically would in that one specific spot, and it wouldn't work in any other spot. It's one of the more obtuse ones. And if I remember, there is also I may be mistaking it and with another stage where you also play with Ichiko. Where you also play with Ichigo in this specific location. But yeah, as you can see, while the Yamibito are a lot more aware and smarter, and like, you know, in general faster to react, they have a huge disadvantage when it comes to their reaction to light. And that's actually a pretty fun way to balance out a stronger, sort of like stronger, faster version of of a base enemy.
What about harder and better?
Well, that's just sad.
Smells fishy, even stronger than the other girl. What the hell are you? Good shot. I guess I'll be the one waking up first. Sorry.
And this is why there aren't any more Misawa missions.
Dude was crazy from second one.
Well, to be fair, he wasn't wrong about the girls being fishy.
No, he wasn't.
He was a crazy person with the right ideas and the wrong companion.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I realized that she wasn't really normal, you know? Sometimes she'd go totally insane. But she told me she liked spending time with me.
Mm.
So it really was Ryoko that died.
Yes.
Yeah, so they mention Akiko's survival is crucial. This mission is actually quite difficult because there is several ambushes going on. We do get introduced to a
Somebody. I feel somebody's calling.
we do technically get introduced into a new enemy type. Thankfully, we don't actually have to fight them. You will see why later.
I think this is the brightest stage we've been in so far.
Yeah, this is like you can see, like remember the cutscene where our badass schoolgirl. Oh, hold on.
You invited us in the first place. And still you dare to betray us.
What the? Come out!
Oh, hi there.
That's fucking freaky.
Yeah, thankfully we don't have to fight him this time around. Weirdly enough, the baseball bat is not actually a very strong weapon at all. You would think that it is, but still Iron Pipe has it beaten.
I mean, I imagine an iron pipe would fuck someone worse than a wooden bat.
That is
I mean, I could be wrong, but like...
That is true, but it does swing faster, but it doesn't have quite the stagger power. I do love that. I do love their scream. It is very iconic. Like whenever you kill them. Like there aren't... It just adds to this game's like weird atmosphere. Because I don't think there are any zombies in any other game that make that kind of sound when you defeat them.
Not that I can think of.
It sounds like a deer. Also, be careful because as before in stages where Soji is present, even when you don't set up traps, there are traps laid about. Yeah, they sound like a deer.
They sound like Sheena.
I believe that. This is why she doesn't use her mic.
Yeah, yeah.
It's just you hear that the whole time.
Stroking the gun lovingly.
Yeah, they do that. The snipers especially. So in this location, there is a sniper set up at, well, a very inconvenient spot. You have to wait for him to turn in order to actually be able to get past between that intersection. But yeah, what I was mentioning before, you mentioned how the stage is really, really bright. There is a good reason for it, because this is actually happening during daytime, whereas a lot of the previous missions were happening, you know, sort of before dawn. And that does actually have effect on gameplay as well, because as you saw in the cutscene with our badass schoolgirl, when the dawn came, the Yamirei, it just sort of vanished. They can't live outside when there is sunlight. So you don't have to deal with Yamirei or Shirios whenever during the daytime hours.
Why didn't you come back? You're close to Mom. Mom, you are going to awaken, aren't you? I'm glad. You're happy, aren't you? Sorry. I'm sorry. It's all right, but Mum isn't going to forgive you. And I can't defy her. I'm sorry.
So this is, I believe, the first time we even see Ryuko, you know, the girl that Soji supposedly murdered, but as we're seeing right now, this may very well not be the case.
Wouldn't surprise me if it was Kanai. That chick's behind everything.
Is she though?
Yeah, I bet she even put sharks in the water.
She would do that. So this is the second mission variant. May as well do it straight away. This one's actually very different because while we do have to basically escort Akiko, it is a little bit different because she's sort of a loose cannon in this mission. She has to go ahead. She doesn't follow you. You basically have to follow her, or better yet, go ahead of the schedule and clear the way. That's the better solution. So this Scooby-Doo mystery. So yeah, she's going to be using her special ability in order to get some info, and we have to protect her while she's doing that. A better solution to that is to, well, basically protect her ahead of time.
Just a little more, and I'll see everything. Around here, many. We must find them.
Around here? Oh. Hey, don't go wandering off.
And guess what she does? Exactly what we said she would. She shouldn't be doing. But yeah, it's best to just leave her be and clear out the way. Thankfully, if I recall correctly, they did remove the sniper Shibito from this stage. So you are going to be, well, it would have been really obnoxious to have to deal with a sniper when your companion doesn't even follow where you're going. And unlike in other missions, we also cannot give her any like commands. Yeah, there's something that that you need to do here downstairs. There's a switch box and nails. Of course, switching on lights is going to make it a lot more inconvenient for the Yamibito and Yamire. You always want to do that. Now, where did our girl go? We could actually sidejack to try and find her, which I probably should have done.
She's fine.
She's just spazzing there. Oh, he has an iron pipe. That's good. Thankfully, they are after every single one of these site spots. They will actually give you a checkpoint. Much better. Thankfully, I managed to interrupt him just in time. I seem to have also turned off the friendly fire for this specific mission, which is very nice, actually. Normally, if I were to swing in near her, I would damage her / like get her out of her trance. And if I'm not mistaken, there actually is a mechanic which will cause your friendlies to start attacking you if you keep attacking them. But you really do have to try in order to make them mad.
Good. I can still do this.
And even then, you're still very, very unlikely to actually kill them. Girl, some help? Okay, I guess I'll do fine.
You got this.
You got this. I'm just gonna go. She's like that coworker who's like, "Oh no, there's so much to do. Ah, my shift is over." That's exactly me, by the way.
Oh yeah.
I'm not getting paid to do what I'm already doing. Bye. No, don't interrupt her. She's being hers. What the hell was that?
Sound like the fucking King K. Rool noise.
Exactly. Like it had that perfect cut because the Yamibito is way too far away for us to actually hear him. So it's just like it's an example of a perfectly cut scream. But yeah, now that she's done with all of her fortune telling, she will take active. She'll take again perfectly cut scream. I don't even know where they are. I mean, I'm sorry that I upset you, but
Looks pretty fragile.
you need to aim specifically for the lock, and it will be pretty obvious when you do, because the camera takes a very bizarre, makes a very bizarre shake whenever you do that. I'm trying to do something cool, but whenever I try to do something cool, the AI doesn't want to cooperate. Shout is such a bizarre. It's such a bizarre mechanic, because every time I want to get noticed by the senpai, they just don't. They just don't cooperate with me. Murder by painting tools. By the way, if the whole stamina recovery by crouching, I believe this also translates to you recovering from damage taken from enemies. Well, it's not particularly clear how it works, because obviously you can't see your health in this game. It does seem like your health or ability to take a certain amount of hits works on a timer or a cooldown in a way. Sort of like shield mechanics in certain FPS games, for example, where so long as you, I don't know, a better example. You remember how Gungrave worked, where basically you don't take damage until your shield is down, and when your shield is down, that's when you start taking damage, but your shield regenerates so long as you don't take hits for several seconds. That's basically it, but here you don't actually have health, it's just that shield. So you can technically take an infinite amount of damage so long as you take breaks between it. Now remember that we acquired a camera way back in the past.
Samurai Jack.
Well, we do have a camera, and I completely forgot that it was a thing, but we do need to use it in this location. Thankfully, it is just a prompt, but when I was first going through this stage, I just did it the worst way possible. You will see in a moment. Well, no, you won't see me failing, but you will see exactly where it would have gone wrong. Not here. Here we're just collecting another item. So yeah, they give you a warning. This is not a safe zone.
And you're gonna run right into it anyway.
I was. Well, basically, that's what I did the first time. And this is what happens to you when you take a selfie. Yeah, and here I was confused, too dangerous to continue. Where the hell am I supposed to go? In fact, what you're supposed to do is just get near Akiko and you finish the stage. I was trying to look for the objective, because sometimes they point they have an arrow pointing to where you need to go. It just went outside of the area of ending stage.
came this far, the boat should be...
Hey, what are you doing?
No.
What's going on? Hey, come on. Come on. Happy birthday to you.
How did you... What's this?
It's your birthday today, isn't it? It said so on your driving license.
That's right, I'd forgotten all about it. This must be the worst birthday ever.
I'm dead on my feet.
Hmm.
Thanks for believing in me.
Cool, spontaneous romance, I guess.
I mean, they kind of had a thing going on, sort of from the beginning. You know, when he put the knife to her neck, it's like her like all the blood in her butt. It's like her heart started racing. You know how it is.
And he asked her, "Do you believe blood? Do you believe love can bloom on the battlefield?"
Probably. So since we're already going way over time, let's just take care of the archive items. Oh well, that's not disturbing at all for the final entry. So she knew Akiko, but I believe we already have established that. The other me. Notice that there is a torn picture over there.
Why does Yajima Island look like fucking Texas?
Oh wait, it does. But yeah, if you look at these, you will recognize some of the maps that we have been exploring. The one on the right, if I'm not mistaken, is similar to the amusement park, and the one on the left is the fishing village where you first play as Shu. They stab sticks into dead bodies.
Ugh.
This is a tradition. It's sort of an introduction to a certain very specific mechanic that will appear for some of the bosses. Yes, this game has bosses. They're very bad.
I was
Very,
about to
very
say,
bad.
what?
When you're fighting these bosses, it's like you never really know if you're doing things the correct way or if you're breaking the game, but either way it feels wrong. They could be worse, but thankfully the exploits make them bearable. Warehouse number 3. So somebody named Yuri was held hostage or something similar.
Ah.
Her real face. Yeah, so this is the thing that we definitely saw when we used the smoke screen. Yeah, and this is from a freaking infomercial.
Yeah.
God, how many lost civilizations are involved with this?
Eldorado, I love that
Nobunaga
movie.
Bonaparte. It's like fucking. It's up there with Dr. President.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, this is just straight up freaking infomercial.
Jennifer.
The world will end next year.
I mean, she was not wrong.
Torn in two. So the archive items start to like paint a more and more full picture at this point. They're like all the random stuff seems to like actually finally start fall into place. But yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens next time.